Hi, and welcome to The Late Show with MBC. I'm Alyssa Conowitz, and I'm here with some very special guests, the previous presidents of MBC, Adam Dubov and DJ Carey. Thanks for coming, guys.
No problem. Glad to be here.
Thank you for having us.
And how are you guys today?
I'm doing okay. You know, I got some work done today. It was good.
Yeah, just kind of winding down towards the end of the semester, the end of our illustrious career here on campus, but it's a good time.
I'm sure that's super sad.
It is. It's a little depressing. I mean, it seems like not too long ago that I just came to the school as a freshman.
Yeah.
It really went faster than I thought it would.
Yeah,
That's
and I guess going off that, why did you guys decide to join MBC? I'm assuming you joined as underclassmen.
You want to take this one?
All right. Well, so I think I joined the end of my sophomore year or beginning of my junior year. I'm not exactly sure, but I remember that I did it because I wasn't involved in too much. I'm a member of Delta Tau Delta, but that's like the only thing that I really do on campus. So I was thinking, hey, you know, MCTV, I always see Channel 21 on the campus television station, and you know, it looks like it would be a good thing to have on your resume. It looks like I could learn a lot from it, so I thought it was really interesting, and I decided to come and check it out.
Well, freshman year, I had come in kind of declared as a media and comm major. Always wanted to do television, be involved in it, and got a little bit overwhelmed with work freshman year and wasn't quite ready to handle joining clubs yet. So I waited till sophomore year, and then I met Alyssa Scaglione, former president, at a WMUH radio meeting about sports, and she kind of wanted to work between the two, and I just kind of joined from there, and the rest is history.
Mm-hmm. And what are your fondest memories of MBC?
Probably in studio. I'd say our St. Patrick's Day show last year, Mr. Dubov ran around just like a small leprechaun, him and Jake Ramsey, showing off their ginger power a little bit, had a good time on St. Patty's Day. Outside of the studio, it's just kind of fun seeing people around from in the MBC kind of group. We're kind of a tight-knit community, as you already know, that everybody kind of knows everybody else. So it's fun to see them outside of the studio and just kind of walking around campus or out at a party or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it would have to be probably the St. Patrick's Day show as well. That was a fun time. Me and Jake were dressed as leprechauns. I was the short one, he was the tall one. And also another one of our members was Alyssa, who did the tap dancing.
Oh, yeah.
No, it was Irish dancing. She did an Irish dance.
Brittany,
yeah, I'm sorry. So it was really impressive, actually. She did that in honor of St. Patrick's Day. But that was probably one of my most fun times. That and also editing. Editing is always entertaining.
Yeah, editing is a story in and of its own. Kind of individual memories. This show was fun, but it was fun every week to just see the outtakes of myself or Dubov getting a little angry about messing up or flubs. Or one time I actually got hit in the head with the sign. We used to have a sign before our graphic behind the kind of table, and it just fell over on me in the middle of a shoot. So that was a pretty good time.
I wish we had saved that.
It might be somewhere. We'll have to check.
So what are your favorite things to do at news shoots?
Well, my favorite thing to do during news shoot is the weather.
You're pretty good at that.
I like doing the sports, but I like the time before the sports, kind of the pre-show, just hanging out, setting up, kind of just goofing off a little bit in editing. Check those. Me and Dubov always like to have a good time, messing with each other, kind of loosening the mood a little bit before we get on air.
I mean, I'm not crazy about the setup. I don't mind it, but part of the reason I like doing the weather, other than because I like reporting the weather, is that it's fun doing all the different trial and errors. Sometimes I can do it 1 or 2 shots. Other times it takes me 5 or 6, and we got to keep restarting, and I hold everybody up, and everybody stays later because of me. But I don't care because the weather's got to be done right.
Exactly.
And why did you guys even decide to run as presidents? I know it's a really big job.
Junior year, I had been nominated. I declined. I was in a couple other clubs, and I really didn't think I'd have the time to be president and be committed to be here every single news shoot and kind of try and pull things together. But I had decided senior year that I kind of needed to step up and take a leadership role, and had talked to Dubov about both of us running at the same time. And it was nice to know that you'd have someone else kind of working just as hard as you were and kind of be able to work together. We get along pretty well outside of the studio. So just knowing there's someone who's on the same page as you and you can kind of just get along with and have fun doing it. That's kind of why I decided to do it.
Yeah, me and him were talking about even before elections. We were like, hey, this could potentially happen. Are you going to be running? And we were both running, and it's a co-president position, so we both could run and potentially get it. And obviously that's what happens, which is why we're here now. But I was in the club and I was really enjoying it, and I wanted to take more of a leadership position in it because there were some things in the club that I was like, hey, this could change, this could be better. And what better way to change things than to try to take them over and, start from scratch again.
And you guys did such a good job as president, so what are some of your greatest accomplishments?
Well, for me, I feel we had not one, but 2 commercials, which Jen Schaefer also was a big part of. And there was the name change, which really gave us a new image on campus, which was good. Do you have anything to add to that?
I think the name change was a big deal. MCTV had kind of run its course and was getting a little bit stagnant as far as that was going. I think the name change and kind of a new idea about what we were going to do was a really big part of kind of what we brought to the table. Also, I feel like just kind of getting everyone on the same page. We kind of have a small membership, so it was important that everyone knew what they were doing. Kind of when I first started and when Adam first started, there were a lot of people who weren't really sure how to use equipment or sure how to do this and that. I personally, and I know Adam did as well, just kind of focused on getting everybody well-rounded to be able to run the show while we're there and now, especially after we're leaving.
Mm-hmm. It is really hard to get everybody acclimated to the equipment in here, and along with that challenge, what were some of your other biggest challenges?
You want to go?
I'll take it. Recruiting was probably the toughest part. Getting people to come was one thing at the beginning of the semester. We'd have meetings. I believe there was like 20 or 25 people at the beginning of this year, and halfway through last year, one meeting or something, it was just a packed house. And then week by week, people start to kind of fizzle out and not come back. So it's tough to kind of get people to keep coming and be committed because it is a lot. It's 2 to 3 hours out of your week every single week, 2 hours for the shoot and then about an hour for the show. So, it's a lot to get people to keep coming. And, I'd rather have people here who know what they're doing and who want to be here than are just going to show up every once in a while anyway.
Mm-hmm. At the beginning of semesters, there's always more people that show up because at the beginning of the semester, you got some freshmen, some new sophomores. And through the weeks, people weave out because they're not sure what they want yet. They're looking around. So of course, recruiting is an issue, but another issue, the second half of recruiting, is keeping the people there once they do get there. That's not an easy task. People come, they go, and also having people continue to come back because a lot of people have sports conflicts and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And that's part of the reason that we did the name change and we undertook all this new stuff. Like we started putting flyers and posters up all over campus, and that's another great accomplishment because this club has a lot of potential. It's just that it's still growing. Like this is a young club, we're still growing, still making our name on this campus. And I think that when me and DJ were presidents, we at least started something to hand down to you guys to continue.
Yeah, and what's the thing you're going to miss the most about MBC?
That's a good question.
I'll miss being on camera. I'll miss being here in the studio doing shows with everyone, having a good time with it. Doing the weather.
I think just hanging out with everybody, weekly doing this show. I know I'm going to miss being on camera a lot. I'd like to be on camera someday. It's kind of my dream, but you never really know if it's going to happen again. So, coming up at the week's winding down, this could be the last time I'll be on camera. This could be the last time I'll be an anchor. Hopefully not, but it's always in the back of your head, so you just try and enjoy every week. And I think that's really what I'm going to miss most, just kind of being on air, and especially even if I'm on air someday professionally, it won't be, and it's just a relaxed setting here. We always have a good time with every show, and that probably won't happen again.
You never know. Do you guys have any after-school plans?
I have some. I worked on I was a production assistant on an indie film this summer, and that was like a 2-month thing. And I got a lot of connections out of it, and I got some offers from other people to do some production assistant stuff. I'm not sure if that's what I want to do, but the offer is there. I would like to go into broadcasting, something like this, which is part of the reason that I joined this club in the first place. This is, like a kind of a startup to where I want to be eventually.
This past summer, I worked for ESPN Mobile. Looking there, possibly rejoining them, working on web design stuff as far as sports is concerned, and then some productions assistant jobs up and down the East Coast are still kind of in the works, but nothing secure yet, and it really is in communication. So we'll see what happens.
And although it's sad you guys are leaving, do you have any advice for me and Kat, the presidents right now, as to where you'd like to see MBC go?
I would say, if you guys have an idea, keep going for it. Also, the ones that are already in the works, finish them. Don't let them dwindle off, such as the backdrop that we want to put up. I'd really like to come back someday and see that there. Keep a hand on your crew, make sure everyone knows what they're doing.
I just kind of keep working hard. You guys are doing a great job so far. I mean, even with this night show, it's a new show here on NBC. Just keep it going. Just commit yourself to doing it. And even there's days where you don't feel like being president of NBC. You don't feel like going to the meeting. You don't feel like kind of doing work and just, forget about it. Those are the days you should really just kind of buck it up and make yourself do it. Those are the most important ones.
Yeah.
That's some great advice, guys, and thank you so much. We'll miss you a lot. That's it for this edition of the Late Night Show with NBC. I'm Melissa Conowitz. I'll see you next time, Muhlenberg.
You're a dirty pirate hooker.
Arr.